Are your friends helping you stay poor? This week's video, I want to share with you some of the insights I've seen, not only for myself, but working with others, about how we can keep ourselves stuck in a poor financial situation while worrying or trying to please our friends. Check out the video. Hi, so I'm Yvonne Hilsz, and this week's video I really wanted to share with you or help you recognize, perhaps within yourself or in others, where are your friends helping you stay poor? And it's not them helping you stay poor, it's you, but it's identifying the patterns and behaviors so that you have the ability to change it. So first one is comparing yourself to your friends. I am so guilty of this myself, particularly with Facebook. You know, we project ourselves on Facebook as being such a different person often than what's really going on. You know, we might only show photographs of us looking good or posed or whatever, when really shit's hitting the fan in the background, but you don't want to show everyone else what's really going on. But let's think about how you're keeping yourself poor based on your friends. And it's the emotional space. You're comparing yourself to others. Maybe they've launched a product, nailed it, and sold a couple of 100,000. You look at your launch and you go, shit balls. I'm lucky if I've got 2 people or 3 people have signed up. And therefore you drop your emotional state to being one of crapola, and you therefore don't want to launch your program again, or you stop marketing it. And these are all great strategies that if you're to do that, you're not going to make any money. So yes, you are going to stay poor. But what you don't know is what that other person has done to achieve their success. So stop comparing yourself to others. Tune in and ask yourself, what do you want? What are your goals and values and beliefs around money and creating wealth and being on purpose for your own stuff? And stop comparing yourself to others, because you're not seeing the full story. You're only seeing a glimpse of what's going on in their life. Next is peer pressure. Peer pressure, keeping up with the Joneses, whatever you want to call it. If you're spending money that you can't afford just to fit in with somebody else or somebody else's group, really? We're not in school anymore. Look to ask yourself the big questions. Are they really the friends you want to hang around, because you can only be in their group if you look or drive a certain car or have a certain style house? Really, I'd say find some friends who really resonate with you, your true self, not the fake wannabe, I have to spend this kind of money to be part of the group kind of person. And don't feel pressured to spend money because they're spending money. You know, if you've got a different budget, let them be aware of the budget. If you're going on holiday and you've got a different budget, tell them what your budget is. I remember like years ago, I won't say how long ago because that'll show how old I am. Well, I'm 40, so years ago, a group of friends and I, we all went to India. There were 7 of us, and we all had fairly similar budgets in the sense that we're all backpackers, but some of us had a little bit more money to spend per day, which is how we worked it out, to others. So when we were making decisions as to where we were going to stay or what restaurants we were going to eat at, we were really clear that some of us couldn't afford the really flashy, dashy places and others could. So we compromised. And we really respected everyone for their own financial situation and didn't make anyone feel bad and go, oh, come on, mate, you should be spending that money. Because you know what? That was their experience and their journey to have us to, you know, we weren't going to make India better or worse for them because they had a different budget. And sometimes it was me at the bottom with going, oh my God, I don't have enough money to get through whatever it is. And sometimes I was at the top end going, woohoo, I'm flushed. You know, so don't feel peer pressured. And that's something you decide. No one can make you feel a certain way. Kind of linking into this is also don't overspend. You know, don't feel that you need to spend more money, again, to make somebody else feel better. Now, if you're feeling uncomfortable from underspending, then I suggest you look to see, well, what is that feeling and why is that feeling being triggered for you? And take this as a beautiful opportunity to do something about it rather than stay in the cycle, the perpetual cycle of overspending, because overspending leads to being in a lot of debt. A lot of debt just shackles you into your current situation and keeps you being poor, whatever your version of poor is. But if you are spending more money than you are earning, then this is not a good cycle. And again, if this is what you think your friends need or desire from you, check to see if that's true. If it is, find new friends. If it's not, then realize that that's your stuff you're bringing to the table. And at any point, you have the ability to stop the overspending. Thinking about, are your friends making you poor? Where are you getting yourself distracted by looking or worrying or thinking about all of the stuff going on in their life rather than focusing in your own business or your own life or your own, job? Are you always getting yourself distracted in groups in Facebook, chipping in and giving unsolicited advice or unasked for advice to every Tom, Dick and Harry who's posting in all of the forums? Look, don't get me wrong, I'm also guilty of that. And then you realize at the end of the day, you've got nothing done in your own business. You haven't generated or hustled any more clients. You haven't added value. You've not invoiced anymore. Or if you're in your job, you actually haven't achieved what you're there to do because you're so freaking busy worrying about what everyone else is doing that you're not keeping the eye on the prize in your own business. Now, this isn't your friends keeping you poor. This is you keeping yourself poor because you're choosing to be distracted by everything else like shiny magpie syndrome rather than asking yourself what's really important in your day. If you've only got a limited couple of hours because your baby's asleep or your kids are at daycare or at school, then turn off Facebook, turn off Twitter, turn off Dr. Phil and actually spend a couple of key quality hours in your own business. And if you're at work, and you've got people always coming to your desk, have a conversation with them that you really would love to catch up about their weekend. And just say to them, look, from these particular hours, I really want to blitz my work and then I can catch up with the coffee with you out in the afternoon and find out about what's going on for you. But again, it's your life, your responsibility. So you want to be responsible for your own outcomes. Therefore, you teach people how to treat you. And that's about putting in good boundaries as well. Where else are your friends keeping you poor? This could be where you're tuning out of yourself and listening to what other people's opinions, thoughts, and ideas are about how you spend your money versus asking yourself and tuning in and going, what do I feel about this expense I'm about to do or money I'm spending or investing? It can be really easy to always be seeking out and not trusting our own judgment and really aligning it to our values and our beliefs and our identity. You don't always have to be asking 50 people their advice. In fact, the more people you ask, the more different advice you're going to receive, and then the harder it is to make a decision because you've now got too many things to be considering. Versus if you trim all that down, maybe ask one person who you really trust, who you know is really an expert or is a lot more experienced in this particular area that you're wanting. But I say less is best. Stop asking 50 people for 50 answers. Ask one, maybe two key people, or in actual fact, tune in and ask yourself. Because when you tune in, you will actually get the answer. And it's about, letting go of all the monkey chatter, of all the stories that you're telling yourself of why you shouldn't trust yourself. But actually tune in and ask yourself, what is the real answer you're asking for? And you will find that answer. And then wrapping up, stop taking advice from people if they aren't experts or actually haven't got experience in what you're asking for. I always think it's like asking a personal trainer fitness advice, yet they're morbidly obese and have never been fit and healthy. That's an incongruency. So it's the same with your friends. Don't always assume that their advice they're giving you is accurate. It could be that it's not, but it's based on their values and opinions and ideas. So get your advice from someone who is an expert or has walked their talk or gone through the experience and can give you some really good insights. But again, at the end of the day, you need to do your own research and education. So this video is all about where are you staying poor because of your friends. And again, it's not because of what they're doing, it's because of what you're choosing to do. So look to see what could you shift, change, or do differently that will have you become more wealthier and stop playing the poor victim game. And as always, if you want more juicy tips like this, come along to YvonneHilsz.com. Sign up for more money tips, more information about how you can have breakthroughs in your life and your business so that you really can have a fulfilling life and do cool stuff and do all the things you really dream of. Starting now. Awesome. Ciao, Bella.